Hello, 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 and thank you so much for joining us today for Friday's market recap. My name is Greg Lewis. I'm the marketing manager here for Metastock. Hey, before we get started, I'm going to run this little thing I did last week because my boss sent it to me and it was so freaking funny. And then we'll come back in about 9 minutes and we'll watch, what you came for.
So I have been seeing a lot of people online who are like, what is going on? I own stocks, so
Start it over again. Here we go. This time for sure.
So I have been
Very
seeing
funny.
a lot of people online who are like, what is going on with the stock market? Is there anyone who can explain this in normal person terms? And so I decided I want to do that because I own stocks, so I have a pretty good understanding of the stock market. And from what I understand, there are these people who they have lots of money and they have hedges around their house and they go to the market, but it's not a real market. It's it's metaphorical, but it's real. And they go, uh-oh, that company is not doing well, so I'm gonna make it do worse. So they pull out some papers and they go, who wants to make a deal? They start making deals and they say if this company's good, if it goes down, then I get money from you, and if it goes up, then I'll give you money. But they don't tell you that it's not gonna go up. I mean, they will make it so it goes down. But then there was this online reading club that was like, well, not today. We want hedges too. And so they went into their bank accounts, and then they also went to the market and they were like, buy of the company, and changed it a lot. And so now the initial people, the hedges have to give their hedges, I think, to the other people. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know.
I think that's the funniest thing I've seen about the markets in 2020 or 2021. What an apt description. Thank you very much, person I don't know, for sharing with the world your very funny and hilarious description of, So today's presentation starts in about 6 minutes. I see that some people are already here. And I said several people are already here. Please go ahead and say hello. Say hello. Let us know your name. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I see we have Jeff Gibby. Jeff Gibby is our sales director. And he's Hunter's boss. And Hunter's the one hosting today. So maybe Jeff's kind of checking out on, I don't know. Today's guest presenter is Sagar Nandi of sagarnandi.com. You can check that out. I'll put his website into the description. And like I say, he should be here in about 5 minutes. Sagar does a business out of, I want to say Thailand is where he lives. And he does Q Global, our add-on with us. And he's a great guy and a very apt presenter. Anyway, I'm sure Hunter will tell you more about him when he comes on. Nothing really I have to tell you, nothing particular that's coming up. We do have our Metastock Summit coming up in a few weeks. If you go to metastock.com/traders-summit, you will go to our website and you can register there, but it doesn't have the speakers on the website yet. I think I'll be doing that next week. But you can go ahead and register now to save your seat at metastock.com, traders-summit. And okay. Hello, Jeff. Come on. Hey, say hello. I know you're there. I see you. I see you waiting in the wings. There's many of you there. So just say hello. Say hello. While we're talking about saying hello, make sure to, during today's presentation, that you do go ahead and ask lots of questions. The one thing we really enjoy about these Friday recaps is, there's no real agenda here. We're not really selling anything. We're just getting a presenter that we appreciate and enjoy and letting them share their thoughts on the market that week. Sagar will most certainly be using his systems to illustrate that, but he'll be taking symbol requests and questions. And so make sure if you have anything you'd like to discuss at all to let us know in the chat box. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go make sure that we've got speakers on the other end. It looks like Sagar is on here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure the audio and everything's working so that when I come back in 3 minutes, it won't be interrupted. All right? Hang out. 3 more minutes. Okay, can you hear me? I can't. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. All right. Hey, we'll be starting here in about 1 minute and 45 seconds. I just talked to Hunter and Sagar, and it sounds like they're ready to go. Audio's good. YouTube's good. We're all good. Crossing fingers. And I did want to take a second to tell you about Hunter. Hunter is our, what is Hunter? His actual title, I can't recall. He's a business development guy. And he works with a lot of our international partners, Sagar being one of them. Hunter is one of our very best and successful sales guys as well. And he's just a stand-up guy. And if you ask him nicely, he might mention to you that he just, well, I don't know if I should tell you. Well, he did. He just had a baby. Just had a baby like last week, his first. So we're all very excited for Hunter. So make sure you type a note into him congratulating him on his new little girl. Girl. So anyway, I got about 52 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and mute myself again and stick around for about 45 more seconds.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hunter Smith. It is February 5th already, and thanks for tuning in to our International Market Roundup. Before we get into too much here, as usual, I want to cover the disclaimer. This demonstration is designed to instruct you on using Metastock and accompanying software plugins. It's not a recommendation of buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using the specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. Metastock shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of our software, any trading strategies or information provided in connection with the company. And there's our disclaimer, everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, afternoon, morning, night, wherever you are. It's snowing a little bit here in Salt Lake City, Utah, finally. So it's a nice sight outside, very, very cold. Markets have been doing some crazy things, and to talk about that with us this afternoon is one of my favorite guests, Mr. Sagar Nandi, coming to you from Thailand, and probably on the beach. Sagar, can you hear me okay?
Hi, Hunter. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Where exactly in Thailand are you?
I am in a small place called Rayong. It's not a big city by the sea.
Well, and I know you've sent me a couple of pictures of the walks, and it's you live in a beautiful area. What time is it right now?
It is early morning, Hunter. It's opposite to New York time zone, 4:30 a.m. in the morning.
And that's one of the things I love about Sagar. He's always willing to get up very, very early just to educate us and talk to us a little bit about what the markets are doing. And Lord knows I could not function that well at 4:30 in the morning. It's been an interesting week in the markets, Sagar. What do you think about this week so far?
The market did what it was supposed to do. That's what I always say. And was it crazy market? Probably no. Probably we could anticipate some of the moves. Probably we could take some trades. Probably we could make some profit. Hunter, are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah, so the screen that I see here is you have the PowerPoint in the background, Skype, and then Zenith, and then looks like
That
an
one?
exploration.
Okay. Okay, let me change it. What about now?
Perfect. Yep, that's the
disclaimer, the most important slide of today's mission.
Right.
Okay, so about market is not crazy. It did what it wanted to do. It was near all-time high and it made a new all-time high. Hunter, remember when I joined you in the last session, I think few weeks ago, I mentioned in that session that though many people are bearish, when I looked at the market through certain analysis, data-driven analysis, there was no sign of weakness. And that
and one of the
came
things
through.
that you
Market
actually
didn't drop much.
Yeah, one of the things that you actually discussed last time that I thought was really, really interesting was a defensive, I believe you called it defensive sectors, and that was real estate based, if memory serves. But out of that, you didn't see much. They were a little bit stronger, but you didn't see much cause for an actual market turnaround at this point.
That is true. And I look at the market, as you know, and many of the viewers may also know by now, I look at it from many different angles. I look at it from the market futures, ETFs. I look at it from the market internals. I look at it from sector, industry, stock breadth. And there is a very powerful tool that I use, aggregate or total view of market breadth. And I shared those views in the last session with you, Hunter, and I regularly share on my Twitter page, on my YouTube channel. And so far, I have not seen indication that market is going to have a huge correction.
Yeah, and looking at your top-down approach, it's always, I always enjoy looking at that. You use a couple of tools, which is always very interesting. So we get to take a look at, your Q add-on at this point. And
Sure.
what charts do you have up currently?
I have Australian. Okay, this is E-mini futures. So E-mini futures ES is very bullish. It is very bullish in the sense that it made a new all-time high this week. This weekly candle is bullish in color, and very importantly, it made a reversal candle. This dot at the bottom shows a reversal candle, and the band below that it shows, is it at price extreme high or not? Highs are always mentioned in green or sand color. So at price extreme high, it made a reversal candle, made a new all-time high. That is very bullish. However, if I look back, there is a possible reversal signal, bearish reversal signal. That was 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, there was a bear release signal. Both of those candles had bearish color. Now, if we look at it, it is creating a megaphone pattern with higher highs and lower lows. Megaphone pattern is an indecisive pattern. It's not a bullish pattern unless we are looking at the lower end of the megaphone. So when price came here, that would be the right time to buy. And now price is at the upper end of the megaphone. Personally, I would avoid buying right now. Instead, if price could come down and if there is a proper Q trade setup, short trade setup, I would not mind taking them. That is in anticipation if that happens. But as of today, as of Friday's market close, it is very bullish. And as of Friday's market close, I am not going to take any short trade. There is no short signal, at least not in this future symbol. And it is at the upper end of the megaphone pattern. That is not where I would like to take new long trades. So it is bullish, but in a way it is also indecisive. And if you allow me, let me show some of the global markets. Australian index AXJO, and these are the few global markets I look at regularly. In my last YouTube live channel, I showed that even Australian market index AXJO is creating a megaphone pattern. Again, when a megaphone pattern forms, the buying opportunities are at the lower end. Booking profit or shorting opportunities are at the higher end. So Australia's market is also having a similar pattern. I will avoid buying in Australia right now, at least not in the index. Now, if we look at Japanese market, Topix index, you may find a kind of megaphone pattern here also, or you could say it is a staircase pattern. Let me draw again. Sideways move, jump up, and sideways move again. So it's a staircase pattern, or you could also say in the last couple of weeks, kind of megaphone pattern. It is also very bullish. Australian market was also bullish. So I'm not going to try to take short as of Friday's close, but it is at the upper edge of a megaphone pattern. Now, if I look at China's market, CSI 300 index, in the weekly, by the way, on the left hand side is weekly, right hand side is daily. China's index CSI 300 is moving sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. These 4 weeks. So it is also indecisive. Earlier on these 2 days, bearish headwind, possible reversal signal came. Since then, price has not gone up to that pivot level, watermark level. So if we compare China's index with Australia and Japan index, China's market is little bit weaker. It could not go up to the upper edge yet. But of course, it is still bullish. If we look at the UK market, that is not as bullish as these markets because it has a trend line resistance. These are automatically drawn smart trend lines. UK's market has a trend line resistance and it has trend line support also. So it is moving inside a triangle pattern. Indecisive move. This is the first global market we saw so far that is moving sideways for a long time. Even in the weekly chart, over a longer period, it is inside a wide triangle pattern. Daily chart, narrow triangle pattern. So it is indecisive, unlike Australia, Japan, and China markets. And India's market, which was the strongest of the global markets for a long time, is remaining that. Is the strongest one. Now here also, if you see, you may find a kind of megaphone pattern for the last few weeks. This week, of course, made a new all-time high. So I'm not going to short right now, but it being at the upper edge of the megaphone pattern, I am reluctant to add many long positions. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, and I shared that on Twitter earlier. I shared it on my Twitter page today. Though both India and China markets closed higher on Friday, the Q edge breadth shows weakness for both the countries. And I attached the snapshots. And this breadth calculation is very important in my trading. Sometimes the market indices or market ETFs does not show the accurate strength or weakness. To see the accurate strength or weakness, we may drill down into the sectors, industries, and stocks. So here I am looking at India's market breadth in terms of sector advanced decline, industry advanced decline, and stock advanced decline as of Friday's close, India's market close. In all Q systems, red, magenta is bearish. So we can see sector breadth is bearish. 82% of sectors are down. Industry breadth bearish today. 62% of industries are down, and stock breadth is also bearish. 62% of stocks are down. Isn't it different from what we would expect after looking at the charts? If we look at the charts again, this is India's market. Straight move up this week. So we would expect today's market to be strong also, because today closed higher relative to Thursday's close. But that is not true. Now, if we look at China's market breadth today, again, China market closed higher today. But if you see the sector advanced decline, and this is for China now, sector advanced decline 64% bearish, industry 65% bearish, stock 63% bearish. So both China and India market are showing weakness under the hood. Now that is not all. For some of these markets, I do more detailed analysis. USA is of course one of them. And for India, I do some additional analysis, and let me show you one picture. This is about the whole exchange of India, National Stock Exchange of India. I carry out a similar study for the USA market. I will share that after some time if we have time. Now here I am looking at market from another angle. By the way, all these charts are created using Q systems, but Q systems in this form could not exist without Metastock and Fire. So thanks to Metastock. I am a Metastock user, by the way, for probably 15-20 years now. So I am very happy with Metastock. It allows me to analyze not only USA market, but global markets, and not only stocks. I can analyze the market from many different angles: sector, industry, fundamental, everything. Now,
well, thankfully you're not biased at all.
No. In fact, if I had to choose only one platform for my trading, I would choose, of course, Q Systems and running on Metastock. There are other platforms I use, but if I had to choose only one, I always say unequivocally, I cannot do without Metastock and Metastock Zenith and now Fire. Now, coming back to this is a very important study. This shows another perspective of the market. What I am looking at, I'm looking at few percentage calculations in aggregate. So for the entire market, what percentage of stocks are having 50 MA above 200 MA? This study, the weekly and daily. Those two studies, percentage of stocks with 50 MA above 200 MA is continuing to go up, not rolling over. But percentage of stocks above 50 MA, that already rolled over a couple of days ago. Then it tried to recover, but has not reached to the average line yet. And percentage of stocks where price is above 200 MA, that little bit rolled over, but then gained again. Now, of course, percentage of stocks above 50 MA will drop fast. So that has happened probably 7 to 10 days ago. So that is showing some weakness from this angle. Next, I'm looking at thrust and jump Q indicators that show whether this market is overheated. I can see overheated, the red dots here in terms of jump. Jump shows how far it has gone, and thrust shows how fast it has reached there. So jump is showing overheating, but not the other three calculations, two of them weekly left side, two of them daily right side. Next, I am looking at new high low advanced decline up down volume. And I always make this statement that market's weakness will be reflected in internals first. These are the internals. New high low, stocks making new highs minus stocks making new lows, advanced decline, number of stocks advancing minus number of stocks declining, and up down volume, volume of all stocks going up minus volume of all stocks going down. Now, if I look at new high low, that is not showing any weakness. And that is the usual case. New high low doesn't reflect the weakness first. Which one reflects weakness before others? This internal advanced decline. And here I am seeing clear weakness. The new high low is bullish, but the advanced decline is rolling over. That is very different from what we saw from the market index, Nifty 50. Nifty 50 made new all-time high, but you clearly see that advanced decline is rolling over. And for advanced decline, in general, the internals, I use the weekly interval, that is more useful. Daily is more choppy. So advanced decline is showing weakness. Up-down volume is also showing weakness. In terms of timing, advanced decline shows the weakness first, followed by up-down volume, and lastly, new high low. So what I saw in the India market, though it made new all-time high, the sector industry stock breadth is showing weakness, and the internals are also showing weakness. Now, is it so for the USA market? Let's look at USA market. And this is using real-time data. Market is closed now. During market hours, these panels will be calculating in real time. Okay, it is still showing real time because market just closed. So in real time, what we can see, it is not weak. For USA, the sector breadth, sector advanced decline is very strong. 100% of sectors are up. Yesterday also 100% sectors were up. So these studies are calculating in real time, and on the right hand side I have the calculation for the previous day. So today all the sectors are up. Yesterday also all the sectors were up. Today 80% of industries are up. Yesterday 90% of industries were up. Today 67% of stocks are up. Yesterday 82% of stocks were up. So this is not showing the weakness that is there in the China market and India market. And if I take a step back, instead of just looking at today's real time and yesterday's picture, if I want to see a longer time, this extremely useful picture in my view, month 1 to real time, sector advanced decline, industry advanced decline, stock advanced decline. It's full of green, isn't it? Wherever you see, it is predominantly green, right from today's real time to 1 month period across sectors, industries, stocks. So internals in terms of sector industry breadth, very strong. The market futures, we saw ES already. Let's have a look at it again. The E-mini S&P 500 futures made new all-time high. If we look at NQ, Nasdaq E-mini futures, that also looks like made a new all-time high. Kind of gramophone pattern, megaphone pattern, not as well formed as in S&P 500 futures, but it is certainly bullish. If we look at, let's say, Russell 2000, that is probably even stronger. Yes, very strong, bullish color candle, bullish shape candle. It is having the megaphone pattern again. This megaphone pattern coming is causing some concern. At least I am not going to buy many new long positions right now. The other reason I am not going to buy is it is already near the upper boundary level. These boundary lines, upper and lower, they tend to capture the price extremes. So I would prefer to buy at this point at a swing low, not after it has gone up for 5 straight days. That is another reason I am not looking for buying many stocks, but it is certainly bullish. And if I look at DIA, the Dow Jones Industrials Average ETF, this is weaker than the other markets, isn't it? The other futures and ETFs, it is bullish, no doubt about it, but it did not make a new all-time high, and it is moving inside a range for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Is it bearish? Certainly no. It is still bullish, but it is relatively weaker than the other futures or ETFs. So market is bullish. Sector industry breadth is bullish, and if I look at technical breadth is something that I use that shows the aggregate number of aggregate in graphical form. Let me update the data. I just completed running the scan. I just completed running the daily scan based on Q Metastock Explorer. What we can see here, this is a technical breadth indicator, not sector, industry, fundamental stock breadth. It is technical signal breadth. And if I look at all the Q signals, 82% are bullish today. This is daily interval. This is showing the balance between bears and bulls using technical breadth on your symbol universe. What is my symbol universe? I am using S&P 1500 and liquid stocks in the USA market. So today 82% of all signals are bullish. If I look at strength signals, and we have these categories also in detail: strength, trend continuation, and trend reversal. So in aggregate, all signals 82% bullish, strength signals 93% bullish, trend continuation 85% bullish. Reversal signals are, however, more bearish than bullish. So that I was expecting. I just ran the scan. I am seeing the result now with you all. When reversal signals are more bearish than bullish, that is in sync with what I saw on the charts, the megaphone pattern. So now if some of these stocks start to go down, some of these stocks, I would look for a short setup. But right now, if it goes down, I may look for short setup, these stocks that are giving reversal signals. But as of now, I have to say that it is very bullish. Now, if I look at the weekly period, I could not run the weekly scan yet. It is as of yesterday, but today it would be even more bullish. So what is the weekly result? The balance of bears and bulls using weekly interval. As of yesterday's close, 87% of all signals bullish, 77% of strength signals bullish, trend continuation 90% bullish. As of yesterday's close, 81% reversals are also bullish. So the weekly interval is very bullish as of yesterday's close, and daily interval is bullish overall, but only reversal signals are more bearish than bullish. Our conclusion is technical breadth is also bullish. Now let's look at the NYSE. And I could not run this calculation yet for today. This is as of yesterday. Today it may be even more bullish. What we saw in the India market when I studied this weekly and daily market breadth analysis, some of the characteristics are similar to India, some are different. The percentage of stocks where 50 MA above 200 MA is not rolling over, still in an uptrend, bullish, same as in India. Percentage of stocks above 50 MA already rolled over 7 to 10 days ago. It has recovered somewhat, but didn't cross the white line yet. So it is similar to India market. Or you could say India market is similar to USA market. The next study, percentage of stocks above 200 MA, very similar to India market, barely rolled over and then went up again, flattening, you can say. So other than this study, the percentage of stocks above 50 MA, the other MA percentage calculations are bullish. There is no overheating in the weekly or daily, and this is the market breadth for the NYSE. New high low, no weakness, and new high low is usually not going to show weakness first. In the last few market sessions, market analysis on YouTube Live, my sessions, I showed that advanced decline and up down volume was starting to show weakness. I have not run the calculation for today. I will run it and I will probably tweet about the result. The market went up doesn't mean that advanced decline will go up. That's what we saw from the India market. That is why I showed that example in detail. Today USA market went up, but that does not guarantee that this study went up. I have to run the calculation and then I will tweet it. But as of yesterday's close, it was showing some weakness and then starting to recover. Up down volume was also showing some weakness, starting to recover. Now, what about NASDAQ? For USA, I do more detailed study than the global markets. Let's look at the NASDAQ market breadth. Percentage calculations, the MA calculations are bullish. Sign of overheating here, but not in the other three plots of jump and thrust. New high low as expected is not going to show weakness first. Here also advanced decline and up down volume was showing some weakness, but it started to recover again. So if we now look at all the global markets and USA market, we can see that global markets, USA, everything is bullish except probably the UK market, which is moving sideways. Two of the strongest markets were India and USA, both very strong. India market is showing some weakness internally, but USA market, based on the studies so far, there is no weakness at all. Now market is at a very high point. If somebody wanted to buy, probably they would like to buy breakout trades. We may look at some of those opportunities. I'm personally not a breakout trader, but we may look at them. But in any case, the conclusion, Hunter and everybody, after this detailed objective study is the market is bullish, but because of the megaphone pattern, personally, I'm reluctant to take many new long trades. I already have number of long positions. They're doing well. I shared them on YouTube and my traders forum earlier. If you want to, you may look at some of them, but I am not going to add many new positions. Hunter?
Yeah, in general, it does look like the markets are very bullish. That megaphone pattern, a bullish engulfing. So, you know, we're looking at kind of a sideways pattern. We're waiting for the other shoe to drop. If you see, typically when I'm looking at a pattern like that, I am waiting for a bullish candle that is outside of the range of that last bullish candle that we're looking at, for example, on S&P mini right now. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that bullish, we typically that's kind of what I look for. So if you're looking at on your weekly and daily, is that what you're looking at as far as a continuation of the trend versus staying sideways or reversing down?
There are different styles of trading. Some traders are breakout traders. For example, those who follow IBD or other similar techniques, they like to buy strong, that is high growth stocks when they are breaking out. So today they may be collecting a list of stocks that are breaking out. So for breakout traders, today's move is probably an indication that they may start buying stocks that are creating some cup and handle pattern breaking out from the top. There are other traders who like to buy breakouts at very high price point shown by this pendulum or price extreme high, breaking out at pendulum high. They may also buy, but my personal style is to buy at these low points. Usually I do take breakout sometimes, but not often. My style is to buy here, buy here. So that is why I am not looking for many buy positions, but breakout traders may look for buy positions. And if we wanted to look for breakout trades, we saw already that today is very bullish. And here I can see in my stock universe, liquid stocks in the USA market, there are 123 breakouts. 77 broke out with pressure. So we might go there and look for these breakouts. This is the technical breadth study tool that allows me to drill down from the overall picture. Overall picture is bullish, so I'm going to go to the bullish signals. And then there are many bullish signals. Some of them are trade setups, those in capital. So breakout is a trade setup, go with flow, or a trend following market trade setup, bounce, exhausting trade setup, headwind reversal, and box. These capital letter headings, they are trade setups, and the others are additional signals, reversal, touch, pullback, gap, pressure. Now, if I am focusing on breakouts, I can say 123 breakouts, but some of them are going up with high pressure, bullish pressure. I'm looking at the bullish signals now. These are going up with high bullish pressure, and I can see there are many which also gapped up. So why don't I combine them? So I'm flagging the pressure column and then sorting by gap. So these are the stocks that are having gap up move, breaking out of what? Breaking out of smart trend line resistance, and they are breaking out with high pressure. So we might now look at these stocks. We can see some of them went up, many of them went up by high percentage. I can see 5, 15, 15%, 15%, 10%, 9%. So these are the possible breakout candidates. Further, if I want to look at breakouts from price extreme high, these are the candidates breaking out from price extreme high, and these are the ones breaking out from price extreme middle. That may be another criteria somebody would like to add. If I flag the price extreme, so now I am left with, let me flag the gap also. I'm left with 6 stocks now at price extreme high, breaking out with pressure and with a gap up open. So these are the stocks. If we wanted, we might look at them. Let's do it together. I click the chart icon. All the stocks are opening using the Q entry chart template. What did I flag for? I flagged for a breakout from smart trendline resistance. I flagged for a high bullish pressure and at price extreme high. This is one of those stocks, trip.com or TCOM. TCOM is the ticker symbol. So this is a breakout candidate. Personally, I am seeing there is another trendline resistance nearby. So this is not the breakout I would like to take, but others may look at it. This is certainly a breakout with pressure at price extreme high. Let's look at the next stock. This is WLS Tower. The ticker is WLTW. I'm reading from here. This is looking stronger for people who like to buy breakouts at the top. Breaking out from trendline resistance, was moving in a range for a long time. The longer it moves in a range, the more bigger move may be expected after the breakout. So this is breaking out of trendline resistance with bullish pressure at price extreme high. Again, what we searched for. So this is looking more interesting. Let me keep it. I'll come back to it. Let's move on to the next stock, Aon. This is also looking interesting. Why? Because there is open space above. There is no resistance. So breakout traders may look for that. Breaking out of multiple trendline resistance after a sideways range in a triangle pattern also, because the triangle was formed by trendline resistance, trendline support. Breaking out with pressure, U-turn. Why U-turn? Because there was a bearish pressure immediately followed by bullish pressure that is flagged as U-turn. U-turns are even more stronger bullish signal than simple bullish pressure, and it is also at price extreme high. So this is an interesting stock for breakout traders, AON. I'll come back to it again. Why I say I'll come back to it? What I am doing now, I am doing a technical analysis using Q Finder. Q Finder, the tool I use to identify these stocks, that is breakout with pressure at price extreme high, part of Q Global. But still I am just looking at technicals. In Q Technique, at least I don't buy just looking at technicals. I like to buy strong fundamental stocks in strong industries. That's why I'm saying I'll come back to these stocks. So I'll come back to AON. Next one, LIND. Lindblad, EXP. LIND is the ticker. It is breaking out of this trendline resistance. 2 successive days of bullish pressure at price extreme high. There is a watermark resistance nearby. If I keep the other earlier charts in mind, this is also good, but I would probably prefer the other one. So let me close this. Next is Berry GBL. Ticker is BERY. It is breaking out. By the way, we also looked for gap up. So all those stocks are also having a gap up open. So breaking out after gap up with pressure, price extreme high. It broke out, but it is already significantly already moved up a lot from the recent low. You see, my style is to buy the low price point. So when it came to the white direction line, showed a bull release signal, bullish shape candle. From that point, I am trying to buy. This breakout is not as decisive as the other stocks. It broke out, but just at the little bit above the trend line resistance. So let me close it. Next is Columbia Sportswear, I think, COLM. It broke out of these trend line resistances, multiple, 3 actually, with a gap up, bullish pressure 2 days in a row, and price extreme high. It broke out of several trend line resistance, but there is another trend line resistance right at the close below this this trend line resistance. So I'm not going to consider it, close it. We are back to our first stocks. WLTW. Yes, this also had a gap up open. So we are left with WLTW, AON, 2 stocks. So what did I do again? Let's recap this technique. This technique, what is this technique? It's a combination of steps that is a workflow. First, I looked at the market from different angles. I looked at it using the futures. I looked at it using ETFs. I looked at it using market internals, the percentage of market breadth and internals, new high low, etc. I looked at global markets. My conclusion was market was bullish. I may not be willing to buy many stocks, but I know breakout traders are looking for trades. So what I did, I next looked at the technical breadth that was also clearly bullish. I looked for breakout trades. There were many breakouts, so I reduced the list by combining breakout with gap up open with bullish pressure and also breaking out from very high price level. I ended with 6 stocks. I look at them using Q entry chart. I ended up with 2 stocks only, WLTW and AON. And before looking at fundamental and industry, let's look at it using weekly and daily both. First, WLTW, even better because weekly is also breaking out with a very strong bullish candle, and daily, of course, we already know daily was breaking out. Relative performance is tilting up, that is outperforming the market. So WLTW technically is confirming a breakout. Let me look at the next stock, that was AON. This is also very nice. Instantly we can see. By the way, in using Q systems, it needs only a couple of seconds to decide if there is a valid trade or not. I tend to say if it takes more than 10 seconds after you have used the system after a while, after maybe 1 week or maybe not 1 week, maybe 1 month, if you need more than 10 seconds, something is wrong with that stock. Why I say it is looking even better, because it is breaking out of weekly also with a very bullish shape, bullish color candle. Daily we already saw breaking out with gap up, high pressure, U-turn, price extreme high. So let's check out these stocks, fundamentals and industry score to confirm that are they just technical setups or are they Q 360 degrees trade setup. Let's start with AON, and I am now using a tool called Q Vital that's based on Metastock Zenith real-time data. Every system I'm using and showing here is 100% real-time. So what I did, I entered the root stock It retrieved some basic information about the stock. Next, it retrieved how it is sending request to Refinitiv. Earlier used to be called Reuters, sending request to Refinitiv to get all the peer stocks, because stocks fundamental is only relevant if we compare it with proper peer stocks. What are these peers? They are peers in insurance broker industry or multi-line insurance brokers industry. So it sent request to Refinitiv to get all the peer stocks in the USA market. It knows AON is in the USA market. From these two industries, it found 19 stocks, and here it is showing me the scorecard of AON. What it is showing? Again, color coded. Magenta red is weak or bearish, green cyan bullish. So I see in terms of valuation, it is not undervalued. Did I expect it to be undervalued? No, because it is at price extreme high, it is breaking out. Usually those stocks are not undervalued. So this is not undervalued, overvalued using score, but I just look at the color. So it is overvalued, that is fine. Strong earnings quality. Went up by 7.27% yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday, today market just closed. I'm in Thailand. In any way, it moved up by 7.27% today. The company is making money, earnings per share is positive, paying a small dividend, not large, 0.88% dividend yield. Earnings growth is steady for last 3 quarters, last 3 years. Not the best earnings growth, but it is steady. And I can see there is revenue growth, though small in the latest quarter. So one could consider buying it. When we look at fundamentals, one could consider buying it looking at the steady earnings growth. I would be happier if the earnings growth was higher. Now, how is the industry? Today, 84% of these 19 peer stocks went up. So the industry is strong in itself. But what about relative to other industries? That is seen from industry scorecard from QH. Remember the QH that I used earlier to see sector industry stock breadth? That also shows me industry or sector's relative strength. And in one glance, you can see insurance brokers industry was very weak. Just looking at the color code will tell you that. And today in real time during market hours also you could identify it. It became strong and it accelerated. So the industry relative score allows me to buy. The industry absolute strength allows me to buy, not in terms of valuation for fundamentals, but in terms of steady earnings growth. Not high, but steady earnings growth. So that completes the 360 degrees analysis of Aeon. I would be happier if the earnings growth was higher. So let's look at the next stock, WLTW. Now it seems it is in the same industry. When we find two stocks after a lot of filtering using the Q systems finder, and then the two stocks we end up with belong to the same industry, that gives even more confidence to buy in the industry. So WLTW, same industry, insurance broker, multi-line insurance broker, similar pattern, overvalued stock, but here earnings growth as well as revenue growth is steady. The other stock, AON, that we studied just now, earnings growth was steady, revenue growth was not so steady as WLTW. Of course, this is the same industry, so same 84% of peer stocks went up and same industry, so therefore the insurance broker industry is strong. If I wanted to look at the alternate industry, multi-line insurance broker, that is also strong, was very weak earlier, now pretty strong and showing acceleration. This last column show acceleration and this column shows strength, relative strength across 12 months, that is 1 year to 1 month, and then more frequently because we make trading decisions in current dates. So with more frequency, we calculate the score in recent days, 10 days, 5 day, 2 day, 1 day, and real time. So in real time, we could find this stock. After this analysis, if I had to choose one stock to buy, I would buy WLTW as a breakout trend. That is a 360 degrees long idea.
And if we could, using Q Vital, could we look at two other stocks?
Certainly.
Let's look at Coca-Cola and American Airlines.
Coca-Cola, KO.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
While it is retrieving data from Refinitiv, let's check its industry first. QH is always running, so I have the industry score ready all the time. Soft drinks industry. What it is telling instantly using color coding? Earlier it was very strong, gradually weakened. The weakening was pronounced until yesterday. Over 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, it was one of the weakest industries. Today it improved in score and it accelerated. Remember the last 3 columns show acceleration. So today it accelerated and it is strong. Not the strongest. Strongest would be like in this color, but it is strong. So industry is allowing me to buy. Why don't I look at the alternate industry also, non-alcoholic beverage? Similar pattern. Strong, weakening. The weakness was pronounced. Today it gained in strength, accelerated. So industry is allowing me to buy in terms of acceleration. When I carry out this industry analysis, I buy either based on acceleration or based on strength. Some people use real time, some people prefer 5 days. Those who want to hold for longer period, I use the real time analysis. So acceleration is allowing me to buy. Let's check its fundamentals. Valuation is medium, strong earnings quality as we expect from Coca-Cola. Earnings growth is negative in last 2 quarters. Revenue growth is also negative in last 2 quarters. Today, 67% of 9 PR stocks went up. Now, if I have no special reason to buy Coca-Cola, in terms of fundamentals and industry strength, objectively, if I hide the name of these 2 stocks, then I would probably choose the stock we saw earlier. Which one was that? WLTW. That is, if I hide the name of WLTW and Coca-Cola, KO, I look at them using Q Vital for fundamental scorecard, Q Edge using industry scorecard, I would choose WLTW. But we have not looked at the chart yet. So why don't I look at the chart also? Coca-Cola. Well, in terms of chart also, today there is no Q trade setup. If I wanted to buy, I would have bought using this reversal signal, very unique, I think, headwind reversal signal. I don't buy just based on this signal. There is a checklist. I have to see if the checklist met all the conditions, but looking at the headwind, I see that if I wanted to buy Coca-Cola, then I would have bought it on this day technically. But then again, on this day, probably I would have found other stronger stocks if I applied the same 360 degrees technique. So yes, it could be bought here in my view. Not today, at least using Q technique. There is no trade setup today. Fundamentals, okay, not so great. Industry, okay, not so great. And the other one was?
The other one was actually not American Airlines. I apologize. Alcoa Aluminum, which is just AA.
Yes. Let's check the industry again. You see, instantly, when you see the stocks industry fundamentals side by side, one after another, instantly you know aluminum industry is stronger than soft drinks. There is no ambiguity. It was weaker earlier, but it has already gained strength over multiple periods. Strong today, showing some acceleration. We know aluminum is stronger than soft drinks, but soft drinks was weaker than, sorry, aluminum is stronger than soft drinks, but the other one, the insurance brokers, was stronger even than aluminum. But that doesn't mean I cannot buy aluminum. Aluminum as an industry allowing me to buy. And if I look at the stock, oh, that's great. In terms of fundamentals, this is what in Q Technique we call 3-star candidate. Great valuation, handsome earnings growth, beautiful earnings growth, 183% earnings growth in the latest quarter, robust earnings quality, short squeeze potential. Today went up by 2.9%. Equally importantly, if I look back over 10-day positive change, 5-day positive change, 2-day positive change, 1-day positive change, that is yesterday and today also steadily going up. Company didn't make money, earnings per share negative, no dividend. However, that's fine. Primary criteria in Q Technique is valuation and earnings growth. So it's a 3-star candidate. Today, 67% of 6 peer stocks went up. So let's look at its charts. Remember, when I saw Coca-Cola, I mentioned that when Coca-Cola gave the bullish headwind, I could buy, but I instantly told that around that time, probably there would be other stronger stocks to buy, and Alcoa would be that. Alcoa didn't give a bullish headwind, but it gave a bull release signal with a bullish shape candle. So if somebody was watching Alcoa, why one could watch Alcoa? Because it is a high growth stock with very nice valuation, undervalued stock, and with a short squeeze potential. Did I highlight that? It's a short squeeze. Who doesn't like short squeeze after what happened to GME? I wouldn't buy GME, but this stock is having short squeeze potential also. So if somebody was looking at it, and how could you look at it? You could create a list of stocks like I do that are undervalued with high earnings growth with a short squeeze potential and keep an eye on those stocks. You could probably buy the stock on this day, which was that day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Monday. And remember, market is going up straight up for 5 days. So on Monday, market also went up and Alcoa went up with a bullish shape candle with a bull release signal. That would be the time to buy. Is it still bullish? Yes. Is it the optimal buy point in my technique? No. My question to myself is, if I could buy on this day, why would I buy on this day? That doesn't mean it is not bullish today. It's just the optimal buy point using my technique would be here. And while I am at this, let me also show how easily you or I can create a list of stocks. Let's start with S&P 1500 list here. Or I could just use all the liquid stocks in the USA. But let me show first with S&P 1500 stocks that are already here in QH. What I am looking for, I am trying to create a list of stocks that are with great valuation, fantastic earnings growth in the last quarter, because I am trying to catch the stocks that are showing earnings growth last quarter. Don't need to go back. If I wanted, I could go back also. But let me focus on latest quarter earnings growth and a short squeeze potential. So one click, I get the stocks with great valuation and earnings growth. Another click, I get the ones that are with short squeeze as well. Which ones went up today? Let's look at them. Another click. These are the stocks that went up at least by 2%. with excellent valuation, fantastic earnings growth, and the short squeeze potential. You could look for trade signals in them. How? Let me do that. Highlight them. Remember, Finder shows all the signals. So this button is for looking up Finder. Single click. Now I am left with these stocks that are having, let me sort by this yellow column, orange column, that has some kind of bullish signal today. What are these stocks? These stocks are undervalued with excellent earnings growth with short squeeze potential, and they are giving some kind of Q signal today. If I wanted to look at breakout, I could look at this stock, or trend following setup, I could look at these stocks. In any case, this is a workflow again. What is that workflow? Create a list beforehand, stocks of your interest with some characteristics. What characteristics did I use? I used the characteristics of strong valuation, great earnings growth, short squeeze potential. Look at the stocks that are going up significantly on any day. Check out their technical signal. Didn't even have to open the charts. And now, based on one style, may look for trend following trade or breakout trade. There is no headwind or box trade here, but you could look for different kinds of trades based on what signal is coming. The orange color signals are today's signal. So Alcoa coming back, I would have bought on this day. Today is bullish, but for my style, the optimal time was some days ago.
That's it's great analysis. You know, those are some very, very good tools that you have. And you know, since you've been working with Metastock for so long, it's you know, you've created a lot of these tools yourself, and they're very, very impressive. Some people out there are wondering, you know, what the tools are as far as Vital, Edge, and Finder. Which Finder's a new one for me. I haven't seen Finder yet, but we want to tell people how to get a hold of you and how to look further into your tools. So best way to get a hold of you is the sagarnandi.com. Is that correct? Whoa, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, sorry.
Oh,
I was on mute. So if you come to sagarnandi.com, here, this email button, you may click that to reach me by email, that is tradingprofitably@gmail.com.
And wonderful, Mark.
Just one about the tools. Hunter, you asked about the tools. The detail of the tools are available from this button. The tools and the underlying platforms are available from that.
And that I love the site as well. Something I always cover when I'm doing a presentation with Sagar is the amount of information that he just gives away for free as well. Some great education on the tools and general market education. He tweets a lot with you know, different trading opportunities, etc. So I would definitely, to start off with, and it looks like he has his social links right up there. So I would definitely start off by just going to sagarnandi.com to find out more information and take a little bit of a closer look. You know, within an hour, we don't really have a lot of time to take a look at all these different tools, but he does really have some great stuff. So Sagar, as always, wonderful presentation. I appreciate you giving us a market roundup this Friday.
Thanks. It's always my pleasure, Hunter. I look forward to the next session also with you. And thanks to everybody else for joining me today. Have a great weekend.
And thanks for getting up so early to present to us. Everyone out there in the audience, wherever you're at, I hope you're doing well. Please let us know if you have any questions here at metastock.com, or if you want to know a little bit more about Sagar, go to sagarnandi.com or email him at tradingprofitably@gmail.com. Thanks so much for attending. If you have not yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Check us out. Let us know if you have any questions. Stay safe wherever you're at. And as always, Happy trading.